Hey everyone, what's going on? I'm your host Jericho, along with my co-host X and Bones, and welcome to the Raw Report, episode 9. That's right, guys, 9 episodes in, and it's a very exciting episode because we're about to start football season, baby, all the way to February, ready to roll, son. All right, so we're jumping right into it, and we're pretty tired from this weekend after we just went through all our fantasy drafts. So shout outs to all my fantasy draft players and fantasy owners, man. They put in a lot of work and a lot of research, and hopefully all the work pays off, during the season. And we pretty much have a long season, 15 weeks straight, and a lot of high stakes on the line. How did you like your draft, gentlemen?
Oh man, I love my draft. I feel like I was in 2 leagues in the Raw network. And I feel like both of my drafts are a little different, and they're just I got some late round steals, and looking back on it, I wouldn't make any changes. I like my picks.
First and foremost, I want to say this was the last weekend that we have until mid-January of 2023 with football on. Shout out to the football gods.
Let's go.
We're ready to go, man. All right, so let's get into it, guys. Top 3 breakouts for the 2022 season now. All right, top 3 breakouts. Who do you guys got?
Ooh, okay. All right. I'm glad we did this episode until after the draft because I don't trust either of y'all. I hope y'all pick the worst players possible. As I do every year, I sacrifice something to the football gods, and I sacrifice our friendships for 4 months, for the betterment of my championship team. So let's go right into it. My number one sleeper and breakout star of the year, I think is going to be wide receiver, Jacksonville, Christian Kirk. I know what y'all thinking. This is Jacksonville, a doomed team. And I agree with you. 5, 6, 7 wins, tops. But guess what? That team's number one option is Christian Kirk. He's acting like it, practicing like it, and he's definitely getting paid like it, right? One of the highest paid rosters on that team. I think that this team is going to see a lot of games where they're going to be from behind. And what do you do when you're playing from behind? You throw the ball. And Sunshine, aka Trevor Lawrence, is known for throwing the ball. Yeah, they got Travis Etienne, but this is a passing offense, right? As we know with Doug Peterson, as the magic that he did in Philly, all this man did was motion after motion, mid slants and deep bombs. So I expect Christian Kirk and across all leagues for the whole season to have a good year. My second player is going to be Allen Robinson, another forgotten star for the past couple of seasons out in Chicago. This man's been putting up numbers with God knows who at quarterback. Okay, now he has Matthew Stafford, right, with a chip on his finger. He got swag. He has confidence, so he's gonna throw the rock. Christian, Cooper Kupp is gonna see double team all day, every day for the whole season. That means Allen Robinson is gonna take the role left behind by OBJ and others. That's gonna be another breakout star in there. And then for my last breakout star of the year is going to be with Chase Edmonds, Dolphins. Not because I'm biased and that's my team.
Not at all,
but because the fans and the viewers have to know this. McDaniels specializes in running the ball, right? As much as I would love to see Tua break out, and that's what I hope for him to do this season. Chase Edmonds is going to be Mike McDaniel's number one workhorse. Now, yes, it's a running back by committee, but you have to also understand that while Edmonds is in motion, he's also viable to receive the ball. So he's going to get receiving points and rushing points. So there you have it from my end. I got Chase Edmonds, Christian Kirk, and Allen Robinson. Look out for those players that have breakout seasons.
Solid picks. I like those as well. I think personally, I'm going with some guys that are, not so familiar names. I think some guys are going to break out this year on the Bills. We know with the departure of Emmanuel Sanders, with the departure of Cole Beasley, there's going to be some more targets, and they're going to have that same offense. They spread it out. Josh Allen's going to go crazy. And I think Isaiah McKenzie is one of those names that I'm looking at. I think he could get some volume in the slot. I feel like he could get about 50 to 60 catches, around 600-700 yards, and he can sneak in some touchdowns. He's going to have some weeks, and he can really amplify his offense especially if someone else gets injured. You don't want that to happen, but it is part of the game. And if someone falls down, whether it be a running back or even Diggs or another receiver, he's going to step up and he's going to get some targets. Another guy I have on my list is Josh Palmer. We all know Herbert is taking a step into MVP caliber quarterback. And who are his weapons? Everyone. There's the usual suspects. There's Eckler. You have Keenan Allen, and then of course you have Mike Williams. And outside of that, what do they have? If one of those guys were to something were to happen, one of those guys, who's next in line? And you got Josh Palmer. I think he's going to be that player that he can really break out on the scene. He can have a couple bombs last year, kind of like Van Jefferson kind of did in those weeks that they didn't have Odell. He was coming into his own a little more. And I think Josh Palmer could have a solid year. And he's another one of those under the radar guys. I think he can break out. And then, of course, I got another guy that a lot of people are high on. Baltimore, they have this guy named Rashard Bateman. He's filling in for the Marquise Brown position of that, the speed receiver that they have. And he's going to get some targets out there. We all know they're a run-heavy offense, and they're going to be passing the ball here and there. But when they do, we know it's going to Andrews, and it's going to be Bateman as well who's going to get the ball, along with Duvernay, who a lot of people are sleeping on as well. So, don't sleep on the Ravens just because they don't pass as much as everyone else.
Okay, so I like all of you guys' picks so far. I think they're very favorable picks. I'm gonna start off with my favorite, my Eagles. I got a lot riding on Jalen Hurts this season. I want to see him have a good breakout season as he is poised to have this year. He has brand new offensive weaponry, basically the wings that they've been lacking out there in Philadelphia. They got rid of the old, in with the new. AJ Brown, he's gonna take over as WR1, and Jalen Hurts is just gonna let it rip, man. Last year, he did a very good job of getting 10 rushing touchdowns. But as you guys seen before, and in the past, the Philadelphia Eagles risking their quarterback is also essentially risking their knees, which could potentially put them out for the rest of the season. And the Eagles, unfortunately, they don't really have a good backup quarterback situation. So Jalen Hurts is basically all they have. And if you have a great receiving core with no real, true blue backups, that can easily tank the season. They still have a multiple running back rotation in the back. So I definitely see Jalen Hurts throwing way more touchdowns. He had 16 touchdowns last year. I see him breaking, 20, hitting between 25, and we could expect between 5 to 8 rushing touchdowns. He might ease off a little bit, maybe because he has more, offensive depth, as far as receivers go, and they have, great receivers now. So Jalen Hurts is definitely poised to have a breakout season. He's going to end up coming into a very comfortable 4,000 yards, over 20 touchdowns, plus the rushing. He's just going to be like a great fantasy, performer all year long. He's going to start very hot. And I believe that the Eagles' schedule is somewhat easy and a little bit hard at times, but for the most part, if you look at the first 10 games, they might lose 3 out of those 10 games. So their season is looking very, very well, very easy. I don't see why the Eagles don't make the playoffs. The next player I'm going to go with here is going to be Marquise Brown, because he's in a new situation in Arizona, no longer in Baltimore. And even then, last year, he had very decent stats, 91 receptions, 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. So you can see a little bit of the same, especially since their wide receiving situation in Arizona is a little bit touchy right now, considering DeAndre Hopkins is suspended, and, we should see Marquise Brown just take over the entire workload. And I think Kyler Murray, they tried him about his work ethic this offseason. So he's a little bit like Baker, where he has a lot to prove, you know what I mean? So he's going to have that fire burning in him. But either way, the main beneficiary in this situation is going to be Marquise Brown. And for my last guy, unfortunately, I'm not a fan of these guys. We do a real rivalry here in the NFC East. Shout out to my guy X over here in the Giants. I'm going to go with Dalton Schultz from the Cowboys, because he's been extremely under the radar. He is projected to be a top breakout tight end, and he is probably the ultimate tight end sleeper this year. As you guys know from doing fantasy drafts, there's not that many good tight ends in the league per se. You either have the top five or you don't have the top five, and then you kind of stay stuck scrambling, wondering what these guys can potentially do for the rest of the season. It's just very inconsistent situation. So last season, man, 800 yards, 8 touchdowns, 73 receptions. It should be a good little addition for Dak, and we'll see if he can maneuver anything over there in Dallas, man. I don't really anticipate the Cowboys going into the playoffs. I do anticipate them getting their stats, but we'll see how they go. They lost Amari Cooper, man.
Yeah, we'll see what's
I
good.
like those picks.
Yeah, we'll see what's good. I like those picks as well. I think Hurts is going to have a breakout year. He's going to have, lead the Eagles to, the best record he can possibly have. We know they have more weapons now, obviously, and even their young weapons, they're more experienced. They had a year to learn, and now coming into it, everyone else looks better. Even Miles Sanders, I have him on one of my teams. I'm really happy for that. I think he can have a good year. He's going to have better touchdown luck, hopefully. And I also like your Marquise Brown pick as well. I think he's going to ball out in Arizona, especially early on.
I like your Schultz picks, Commish, but X, you really dug in deep with that Palmer. So I like that. I like that because obviously that's a guy that wasn't on my radar. I'm gonna be real honest, but you're right. The Chargers being the streaky team that they are. Keenan Allen sometimes in, sometimes out. Mike Williams, with this, has the same rap report. A guy like Palmer can come in and really like get some targets.
Yeah, I think he's a big kid.
I hate the Bills, but you're right. Someone has to come and step in and take Cole Beasley's slot. His role, which was to get all the catches in the slot. Those easy out targets. And McKenzie is definitely a player that showed last year that flashed out for them a little late. And yeah. So I definitely see that going in. Obviously we know the hierarchy is going to be Diggs, it's going to be Davis, and McKenzie, can be the one in the middle. Eating it all up.
Right. Davis is more. He's not so much of a sleeper. People are going early on him, maybe as early as 6th, 7th round, as I did. But McKenzie's another one. They have enough targets on that team so everyone can eat. It's not just going to be Diggs.
That's good. That's good there. I mean, I'm banking on Marquise Brown too, Commish. I got him in one of the leagues, so yeah, he's I have him out there. Hopefully, he gives me some good points. And then we get ready for trash talking after week 1, baby.
Speaking of trash talking in the league, let's talk about your favorite fantasy lineup from this weekend. As some of you guys may know, we have our own Raw Fantasy Sports organization. We have 5 total leagues. We did an entire weekend full of drafts. In fact, our first draft Saturday night lasted about 5.5 hours for undisclosed amount of reasons, but we got it through, man. We had the high rollers in the house. It was a live draft. We had the food popping, we had the drinks popping, and we had the entire camaraderie in the room, the longtime Polo League in their 11th season. But, aside from that, guys, what is your favorite lineup? State the league and state your lineup, and let's get these lineups popping, man.
Man, I got to go with my Polo League. It's one of the more prestigious leagues in our organization. I really love my Eckler and Saquon picks early on. I was lucky enough to get Eckler at 6. I feel like he might have dropped a little bit. I think he's just as good as McCaffrey. And then same with Saquon. I think they're going to be my 2 pillars coming into the year. And I figured I'd just throw in some. I picked Josh Allen 3rd round. I figure I'm just going to ride with the QB1. I went early on a Kyle Pitts as well, 4th round. I think he's gonna, maybe get tight end 1, wide receiver 1 targets, and he's gonna be. I think he'll be higher than Kittle and reaching into Kelsey territory when it comes to the best tight ends in the league. And I picked. I have Allen, Pitts, Saquon, Eckler. I also have Josh Palmer on the bench, of course. I went ahead with have DK Metcalf. I feel like, even with the departure of Russell, he still had a great season last year with Russell injured. So now he can even ball without him. Even if it's Geno Smith or Drew Lock, either one of those quarterbacks can get him targets. And we know Pete Carroll is going to ground and pound, and he's going to try to throw that deep ball. And who better than DK over the last few years to get those bombs? He's such a big target. I think he's a decent fifth or sixth round pick. I think I got him in. And then I went ahead and got Gabe Davis from Buffalo to tag along with my Josh Allen. Of course, I mentioned McKenzie earlier. I have McKenzie on the bench on that league in case anything were to happen to Allen. I have Diggs in a separate league. So I figure, I have the Bills all, wrapped up with my two different leagues. I feel like they'll be a high-powered offense. I like Josh Allen a lot to ball out with, whoever he has beside him. And that's, more or less how I'm riding along with this year. I'm just going to swap in my receivers along with the guys I named the pillars on tight end, quarterback, and my running backs.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the same the Polo League. Our prestigious Polo League has been around since 2011. And I also, I consider myself blessed for this draft. I ended up getting Justin Herbert, Stephon Diggs, Joe Mixon, James Conner, and Dallas Goedert. I think I have a pretty solid lineup here, guys. I'm going to definitely see you guys in the playoffs. I got a few backups. I got to improve my bench for the most part. I got George Pickens, who I believe is just going to dominate the slot out in Pittsburgh. I know there's a lot of contrary belief to that, but I really think he's going to do some work out there. And they just named Mitchell Trubisky the starting QB today. So we should see a few things change up. I know there was a lot of speculation about the backup quarterback, trying to get the starting role, but it just didn't work out. Singletary, I also have him on my bench. I think he's a solid pickup considering Buffalo is such a good team. They have such a good offense. They can use him at any moment. He's just a bit inconsistent with the points sometimes. He's definitely not somebody you may want to start, but he can definitely get you through a bye week or two. And, hopefully towards the end of the season, he starts to pick up the workload. I have Tonyan from Green Bay, the tight end. He's a little bit hurt. He's in the middle of recovery, but he'll bounce back, and I think he'll be a reliable receiver for a clueless Aaron Rodgers who doesn't have a single receiver right now in Green Bay. And Tonyan is just the familiar face that's gonna get him out of trouble out there. All right. I have Chuba Hubbard just in case, and knock on wood, just in case something happens to McCaffrey. If he can maintain himself healthy, I think Chuba Hubbard will pick up a lot of work out there in Carolina, especially Baker being in a new system. He's going to need, a few guys to help him out back there just in case it gets tricky, because I have no belief in Robbie Anderson, guys. I don't think he's a good receiver. DJ Moore is going to end up getting a lot of that work, and we'll see what happens there. But in case Christian McCaffrey is not available, Chuba Hubbard is the next big thing. I got Robert Woods. He's the WR1 now in Tennessee, and it's a little tricky there because we don't know what's going to happen with Ryan Tannehill. I believe he's on a hot seat. They're going to keep him on a short leash.
I feel like it's just going to be a running team, and he might have a decent year just because they don't have to throw much. But he's definitely not the future for Tennessee. We know this.
Well, yeah, Tannehill they're gonna keep on a short leash, but and I also picked up Michael Thomas. I think that if he has a healthy season, he can put up big numbers because Jameis is now the QB1 out of New Orleans, and although we know he can throw hella picks, he can also throw a deep ball and get his receivers some numbers. So I'm counting that Jameis is going to redeem himself out of New Orleans as the new starting quarterback after the Drew Brees era and Sean Payton era, and get Michael Thomas up there, man. I really believe that him as the WR1, he's going to be another offensive weapon. And the last guy I'd like to talk about here is Eli Mitchell. He's a good running back. If he can stay healthy out in San Francisco, he's also going to put in a lot of work this year. So, I also picked up the Buffalo D, guys. You can't go wrong with the Buffalo D. They're a top D in fantasy world. So, that's my favorite lineup from the Polo League.
I like that Elijah Mitchell pick. He's very Dalvin Cook-like for a young back.
Y'all done? Because that was cute. Whatever it is that y'all thought was a winning team selection, that was cute. Let me tell you about a real team, all right? Let me tell you my stars off rip. Patrick Mahomes, quarterback.
Oh my God, bro.
Debo Samuel. All right. Aaron Jones, monster. Dalvin Cook, another stat monster. Bruh. My receivers, all my players single-handedly have won games for people last year. Let me go down my roster. Let me tell the fans what a real roster looks like. All right. We got Patrick Mahomes. All right. We got Debo Samuel, Jalen Waddle, Allen Robinson, Dalvin Cook, Aaron Jones, Schultz. Boom. Who my backup? Who my backup receivers? Oh, none other than all I do is get targets and catches. Hunter Renfro, Tyler Boyd, when the Cincinnati receivers, who we know one or two are going to get hurt. My man's going to see the field and the rock. Backup running backs. I have Kareem Hunt and Chase Edmonds. Need I say more? I mean, my bench is stacked. My starters are stars. I'm going to rock it this year. I don't know what that nonsense, that y'all was. Oh, yeah, I like my roster. Oh, yeah, I got this guy in the fourth round.
Listen. I'm getting multiple chips this year, baby. I won one last year. I won the two finals. I got one.
God.
I'm winning all 5 this year, bro.
Listen, bro.
That ass.
Listen, bro. I don't know what guy is responsible for the girl that did brujeria in our league that doesn't allow repeat champions. But you're not going to repeat, Jerry. You're not. You're not going to repeat. Your team is going to flounder, and I'm going to be there to tell you, you suck.
I can't wait, bro. I'm gonna see all of you guys in the playoffs. I know it. Me and X always have our annual bloodbath. Bones, you and I always square off. You know what I mean?
Oh, and for the viewers,
jumping right into the next segment is my favorite time of the year, and we're gonna do our week 1 picks for the start of the NFL season, guys. So the first game will be Thursday at 8:20 p.m. Eastern on NBC. Okay, September 8th, Bills Rams. I got my money on the Bills, guys.
Rams.
Write down your picks.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bills on this one. I like the Bills. I think they're gonna come out on fire. I think Josh Allen, for some reason, he just always has a lot to prove, and I feel like they're really gonna come out this year and try to go for a Super Bowl run. And I got them for a W week 1. I'm taking the Bills.
Aaron Donald's gonna slap Josh Allen around, and I can't wait to see it.
So you got the Rams?
I got the Rams.
All right. So X and I got the Bills. You got the Rams. Got you. X, do you have any suggestions on the betting line?
Nothing yet, bro. Let's do another segment on that. I haven't looked at them.
I got you. I'm gonna go ahead and suggest I'm gonna get Buffalo on the under 2.5.
Ooh, okay.
All right. The next matchup, New Orleans and Atlanta, and I'm gonna go ahead and pick New Orleans, guys. I think Jameis is a fresh breath of air out there, and he's just gonna let it sling for the people of New Orleans, baby.
Yeah,
easy.
Yeah, Jameis is gonna ball out this year. I think Mike Thomas will be back. Kamara will be Kamara. I have even the rookie Olav. I think he might have a lot to prove. A lot of fantasy owners are naming their team the Olav Garden because they, So he could, he's one of those younger players that he could ball out. As far as we know, he could be that Chris Godwin that we don't even know about. So, we know what Jameis did with Chris Godwin his last year. We know what Brady stepped into, and they were all experienced a little bit at least because of what Jameis was doing. Jameis was throwing slingers to them. So let's see if Jameis can mature and eliminate their turnovers a bit.
I have New Orleans, bro. I mean, Atlanta may be a fun team down the line, but right now I'm gonna go with what works and what is certain, and that's defense. And that's something that New Orleans has that Atlanta doesn't. Saints, dub. Next pick.
Yeah, I just don't believe Atlanta has a good team. Next picks, 49ers and the Bears.
Where? At 49ers?
This will be live from Chicago.
49ers.
That's a good one.
I gotta go the same 49ers.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Niners on this one. To me, I just think Kyle Shanahan just runs the ball greatly. They're just gonna be executing out there, and I got the Niners week 1. Yeah. Makes sense.
Oh my God! What a test for Justin Fields off rip. The
I don't think
Niners
Justin Fields
defense,
is the guy, to be honest with you. He's gonna
bro.
he's gonna do what he got to do in Chicago, but I don't think that's their guy at all.
It's gonna be a rough week one. I'll tell you that. Let's go next.
All right, so we got the Steelers and the Bengals. I'm gonna go Bengals hands down. Joe Burrito, if he's starting or not, but the rest of the offense is gonna take care of the Steelers, guys.
Yeah, Cincinnati, easy.
Cincy. Next question.
That's a hands
Mm-hmm.
down 3-0. Philadelphia and Detroit. In Detroit.
I'm gonna go with Philly. I'm sure everyone else in this on the universe will probably go Philly. If you're watching HBO Hard Knocks like I am with the Detroit Lions, that is so entertaining. But I just have a feeling they might not even win more than 2 games this year.
The Lions' best player is the head coach, Dan Campbell.
Yo, he needs to be on special team.
He does the drills with them. He does the drills a little bit better than some of the players have his age.
Man, it's like he wants to just like go on the field himself and get the job done, right? Like it's not.
This is how you do it, guys.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a huge Dan Campbell fan. He came through for the Dolphins when we fired a coach in the middle of the season. The players rallied around him. He's definitely a player's guy. But yeah, Philadelphia steamrolling by 2.5 scores over the Lions. My prediction.
He's great, but I don't know if he gives enough tactical advice to, really bring this franchise into a prominent team, especially getting past the Packers or the Lions.
He needs coordinators. He needs coordinators because he can motivate players, but you need coordinators. You need good other coaches around you.
Right.
Listen. I ain't trying to hear none of that. Philadelphia got this. It's gonna be a ass whooping on a glorious Sunday afternoon, 1 p.m. Fresh out of Formula One fantasy. You can catch me out here, man. The next level of business. This one's for you, Bones. Patriots, Dolphins. No more Brady, and I hear that New England Patriots are struggling in training camp.
Ooh, I'm taking.
I think this is an easy test to start the season with Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah, it's a great
test. Tua is 3-0 versus Bill Belichick in his career, fellas.
Right.
Yes, yeah.
It's been some different situations as well.
Not only that, but it's in our favor. New England historically does bad when they come down to Miami. They just don't win down here. Even Brady himself. Yes, it's true. The only negative stat that Brady has in his entire career is a losing record to the Dolphins on the road. On the road. That's it.
Oh my God. Anyways.
Listen, I historically have always believed that the Patriots purposely don't try against the Dolphins, but that's just neither here or there. Ravens, Jets for week 1, and that should be a hands down for everybody there. I got Baltimore.
I'll take the Ravens. Yeah, I think John Harbaugh guys prepared for week 1. They'll be blocking full strength, and they'll get that dub easily.
Hey, wouldn't it be something if Joe Flacco gets a revival out there with the Jets? By the way, week 1 starting quarterback Zach Wilson is out. Non-contact injury against the Eagles in the preseason. All right, Jacksonville, Washington. That's a good matchup.
Ooh, that is a good matchup.
Jacksonville, Washington. That is a good matchup. I think Washington could come out and take that W. Just because Wentz is going to be Wentz. I don't think he's all that great, but yet they'll run the ball. Let's see if Gibson can have a decent game, and I'll take Washington on that.
I will take Jacksonville. I'm gonna take Jacksonville. I feel like the Washington Commanders are gonna have a very Tampa Bay Buccaneer, orange popsicle Buccaneer type of year. It's not gonna go well for them. I feel Jacksonville comes out with a surprise in week 1.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with, and I hate saying this, but I'm gonna have to go with Washington just because I believe they have a better and more stable situation than Jacksonville. Or not. Don't get me twisted; they're both shit shows. But I just feel like the Commanders have a better team overall, and they should be able to get the W. That is, of course, that preventing Carson Wentz throws three picks off the bat, you know. Cleveland and Carolina, and that's gonna be the pay-per-view
Ooh.
of the week. I got my hands down on Baker. He's just gonna come and rip up a new one. The Browns are without Deshaun Watson for several weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. If it was Watson and Baker, oof, bro, the ratings will go through the roof. And I would give Cleveland that edge, but I'm gonna go with Carolina. Let's see what Baker has up his hand. Baker's gonna show us what he's about and off the bat. And depending on what he shows is how the season's gonna go for them.
Right. I'm going to take Carolina as well. I think, for the long term, I think the Browns will be happy of what the move that they made. But as far
Yeah.
as week one, I think Baker will take week one, and then in the long term, probably, fizzle out of the league while the Browns are going to excel in the future with Deshaun at the helm. Once he Browns are full strength, they're going to, they're not even going to be looking back at the Baker Mayfield era. So I think, I'm going to take Carolina for now, but for the long term, I'll take the Browns.
That's
All
what
right, next one up.
that's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen.
Next
Baker's
one
gonna
up.
throw 3 touchdowns and that's it. 7 game losing
Next one
streak.
up, Indianapolis and Houston. I'm gonna go with Indianapolis here just because I don't like their offense very much, but I do believe they have a top tier defense. The Texans, they're just getting situated. They have an unknown quarterback, which we'll see what happens now that he's a starter. And they're also just named a new running back. But I just think the Texans situation is just uncertain. So I have Indy taking that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll take it as well. I'll take Matt Ryan in the new position at the helm at Indianapolis, along with Jonathan Taylor. I think they'll have a great game out there. I mean, I think this game could have some points. Believe it or not, I think this game could go over. People sleep on the Texans, but don't sleep on Davis Mills. Even though they could lose a few games this year, I think he'll be slinging it out.
I wonder if he ever got his turtleneck deal.
No.
Giants, Tennessee. I'm gonna go with the Titans, baby.
Where are they playing?
They're playing in Tennessee, guys. 4:00 game on Sunday.
I'm gonna take.
Eastern.
I'm gonna put my love for the Giants. I'm gonna put it aside, and I'm gonna use my head on this one, and I'm gonna go with the Giants because I think they're gonna win this game. Baby. Back. I think Saquon is gonna be back on the scene. I think Daniel Jones will have a decent game. He doesn't have to do much, Just rely on the defense, rely on the running game, and the Giants could ride Saquon to this dub. This is gonna be a nice Week 1 W.
I have to go with Tennessee. Yeah, Tennessee has a nice little defense there. Let's see how that goes. It honestly is going to go. It's the battle of the running backs. Which running back is going to take over the game more, Saquon or Derek?
We'll see, man. We'll see. Green Bay and Minnesota in Minnesota.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go ahead and take Minnesota on that just because I feel like they just have a better team at this point. I don't think Aaron Rodgers has any receivers.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. As far as Minnesota, their stacked team. I think this could be the year that Kirk Cousins really makes a playoff run. This could be a shocker, or it could be, they've been knocking on the door for a while with a decent team. Maybe they break through. So I think they can take this Week 1 to Green Bay, and I think it'll be a good one. Justin Jefferson balling out for sure.
I think Aaron Rodgers forgets his psychedelics at home and loses Week 1. Let's go Minnesota.
All right, so we got the next one up is Kansas City and the Cardinals. That should be a nice little showdown. I'm gonna go ahead and pick Kansas City. Patty Mahomes can't go wrong.
I'm gonna go with Arizona.
Nice.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Arizona. I feel like the Chiefs are reeling in both sides of the ball. So I'll take Arizona.
Okay, not mad at that pick. I think with my pick, I'm gonna go with Kansas City. I think it's gonna be the same old same. I got a high scoring game, but I'm just gonna take the Chiefs. I think they're gonna edge it out this one. I'll take them Week 1.
All right, next one up, we got Las Vegas and the LA Chargers. I'm big on Las Vegas this year, man. That's a hands down. Devontae Adams is just gonna absolutely stunt on the Chargers. But it's gonna be close, I believe, because Justin Herbert can sling it. He can get a lot of touchdowns. So, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna have my money on the Raiders.
Okay, I'll take the Raiders as well. I'm gonna take Derek Carr having a big game. I'll take like you said, I'll take Devontae Adams having a big game as well. Week 1, they're gonna show out. I'm gonna take the Raiders. Yeah, I think. And they're at home this game.
Yeah. So the Chargers are at home.
Oh, the Chargers at home. No, I'll take the Raiders. I'll take the Raiders on the road. They'll probably have.
I think the stadium is also going to be swarmed with a lot of Raiders fans.
Yeah, they'll have more fans. They'll have more fans there. It'll be a home game.
I'm gonna take the Raiders too. I'm gonna take the Raiders.
All right, next one up is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Dallas Cowboys.
Ooh, Bucks. Let's go. Brady pissed. Let's go.
I'm gonna take the Cowboys on this one. I think, DeMarcus Lawrence is gonna break through that line. I think, Dak is gonna ball out, and I think it's gonna be a revenge game from Week 1 last year. I think they played Week 1 and Brady beat them last minute, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see if they can be a revenge game for Week 1, and let's see if the Cowboys can edge them out. I'll take Dallas.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pick the legendary Tom Brady to handle business on the Cowboys. I need them to handle the first loss of the season, and I need the Cowboys as far away from playoff possibility as possible. Okay. Next one up is the Denver Broncos and the Seahawks. I think this is a hands down no-brainer. Russell Wilson will handle Seattle. They just named Geno Smith as the starting quarterback, and unless a miracle happens, I don't see Seattle winning that game.
Yeah, Denver. Let's ride.
Yeah.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
Let's ride.
Let's ride. One more time.
Broncos.
Ride.
Yeah, I'll take the Broncos, and I think Russell's corny ass will win the damn game. But we'll see what.
DJ, play Future.
Yeah, it's gonna be the locker room for sure.
Bro, if I was the opposed, if I knew the Denver Broncos were coming into town and I was in charge of the PA system, I would play nothing but Future songs when the Broncos hit the field.
We're playing Future this week, Coach.
All week long.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so that brings us to the end of our episode, and good luck to everybody this week 1. The NFL game starts. The NFL season starts this Thursday. Bills, Rams. Don't miss it. And we're looking forward to getting these awesome betting picks next week. X with the bets will be joining you with a new segment, and we'll see how we did with these picks, guys. We're going to be tracking all season long to see who had the best picks, all right? So I'm your host, Jericho, signing off. Make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drive a comment. Follow us up on Instagram, man. Hit us up.
You already know. Be easy, guys.
All right, fellas. See y'all.